I'm just going to do this in one take. So if you're like me and you're an artist that's making music, I'm currently recording my second single tomorrow. Um, the music industry can seem like a bit of a head spin, a bit of a head scratcher because there's so much to it. Um, Everybody has different goals. Everyone has different ideas of success. Someone might just want to learn a couple of chords, but if you're like me and you want to be releasing music and stuff like that, um, yeah, there's pros and cons to the being independent and going with a record label, and obviously the pros of the record label is that uh, you get pushed a lot. You get connected with different songwriters and a massive press and exposure, as well as monetary gain. The benefit of being independent is that you have full control. And I think um, one of the biggest positives to being independent is that not only do you have full control, but in that space of being independent, you get to experiment a lot. You get to try stuff. You get to find your sound. You get to change your sound. And you get to, and you, it's all just based on the support of people that support you. And and I think that's a really cool way I'm going about it. Nowadays, a lot of people are going more independent. They have studios at home, and they're recording there. Um, Obviously, you might not get as much reach as you would with uh the backing of a big label, but the backing of a big label is not everything. Like we're seeing now in the music industry that um editorial playlists and stuff like that is that it's doable, that you can put a song and you can trigger an algorithm and get added to different playlists and stuff like that. So as long as you're in it and you're engaging with your kind of fan base and your support, that's like the best thing that you could do. You can stay connected. um there's obviously cons to um signing with a record label as well. I think when you talk to any older generation, I've had many of these conversations before, where you know where they'd be like, "Oh Jesus, you know, maybe somebody will come along and they'll see you like Ed Sheeran or something like that," and all it takes is one person. But I feel like that era of the music industry is um kind of gone, because all those people that would have saw you live in a bar are now online and they're seeking out new music. So as long as you're putting out music and you're experimenting and you're engaging, and that's also a really good thing um that like A&Rs and stuff like that look for as well. The downside to it is like you're obviously going to get like money for it, but it's basically a loan. Um like they're business at the end of the day, so that label will look to you know uh recoup the money that they invest in you. And here's why I would say stay independent for as long as you can, because let's say early on, let's say tomorrow you get a record deal on your table. It's like, here's however much you need. And a lot of that will be going towards the recording of a project. And you can do what you want with the money. That's really down to yourself and being smart with the money. Um, but that money, they will look to recoup that. And a lot of artists do end up getting dropped um, from labels. So if you're independent and you grow your following, your kind of organic reach, and you grow this fan base, it takes the pressure off when a label do come around, because they're like, this guy has done all this on his own. He already has a stable fan base, rather than them taking a chance. So the more that you can grow yourself as an independent artist, it just takes a lot of pressure off of reaching a certain target, and you're always going to have to reach that certain target anyway. And obviously with labels, you get pushed to the likes of BBC, or maybe like RTE or different radio stations everywhere, different types of press, and so it's very, very interesting nowadays to be an artist and trying to adapt to everything that's going on at the moment. It almost feels like you have to be on one app, and then that's not popular anymore, so you have to be on another app. But I kind of like Instagram as an app, and I'm getting into TikTok. But nonetheless, if you're an independent artist, please keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And another thing as well, that I actually learned is, it's kind of like when you're, let's say you get a record deal, right, and you get offered one. It's kind of like when you're quoting for insurance. It's like, you don't accept the first one. You can go to another record label and say, hey, I got offered this, and you can play them against each other and try to get the most, and see which one suits you best. Because I know for a lot of artists, they could get offered a record deal and they're like, oh my god, I have to, this is a massive opportunity. But be smart about it if you do, and kind of basically use the best out of that opportunity. Yeah, so be independent, bring out music, experiment, and just keep growing, keep communicating with the people that love your music for the reason that they do love your music. And then if you do get signed to any label like that, make sure to hire an independent lawyer. Usually a record label will try and suggest a lawyer, but you're better off hiring an independent kind of music lawyer to go through the contract, stuff like that. So that's just had an urge to share. So if anything in this is helpful, let me know.